I'm Jason, the world is yours, and today we have a story about Andrew Tate's tweet sparks a debate on masculinity and freedom of speech, like getting a girl from a nightclub. Okay. Social media influencer and businessman, successful businessman, Andrew Top G Tate recent tweet raises several controversial and provocative issues, including his claim that he is promoting a message of self improvement for young men. Over the past few days, Tate has been making headlines on Twitter with his regular tweets. For instance, his recent tweet, like getting a girlfriend from a nightclub, has caused a stir. Okay, let me see. In 2005, a South African man adopted a baby hippo after oh my goodness, okay. After rescuing it from a river. In this clip, they can be seen playing together. 6 years later, the hippo dragged him into that same river and ate him. Okay. And then Andrew Tate says this, like getting a girlfriend from a nightclub. Okay. Andrew Tate, is known for his views, has caused a lot of controversy lately when he expresses opinions on women and their roles in social society and social or and their role in social media, or I thought it was in society. Tuesday, the notorious influencer tweeted a long post which he alleges that his ideas and beliefs, which include questioning everything, working hard, and striving for success, have been banned from schools worldwide, and he was banned from various social media platforms, banking services, and apps. Oh, that's interesting. This is what Andrew Tate says. I am banned from almost all social media. I am banned from having a bank account. I am banned from Airbnb, Uber, Discord, Spotify. I'm banned from basically any app on the App Store. Wow. Tweet. Tate further suggests that the British government is actively working to incriminate me for hate speech, and that his enemies are afraid of him because he's teaching men to be good, to be strong. He contrasts this with the notion that if he were to promote okay, here we go, gender transition and encourage men to do the same, he would be embraced and promoted rather than banned and publicly persecuted. But if I cut my D off and wore a dress and told men to do the same, I wouldn't be seen as poisonous to the minds of youth. I would be promoted and embraced. Well, this story is going many different directions. Because I tell young men to question everything, work hard, go to the gym, get as rich as possible, never quit, respect themselves, and that all the pain will be worth it in the end. I'm banned from being discussed in schools and around the world. The British government has an while some may view Tate's messages as one of self-improvement and empowerment, okay, that's very important, others may criticize his ideas for promoting masculinity or reinforcing gender stereotypes, trying to create a hierarchy. Additionally, many men question the validity of these claims regarding being banned from schools or incriminated for hate speech. However, Tate tweet. This is probably the most important. I haven't read this article yet, but I like when we go here. However, Tate tweet rises some important aspects of freedom of speech, censorship, and the role of social media and other virtual platforms in shaping public discourse. It also highlights the ongoing debate around masculinity, gender roles, and the impact of social norms on individual behaviors and attitudes. I mean, goodness, this article could take me about 1 hour to go through. Every paragraph has something that I just, have strong opinions on, man. I would, let's just go one paragraph at a time. I like that it ends with, however, Tate's tweet rises some important aspects of freedom of speech, censorship, and the role of social media and other virtual platforms in shaping public discourse. Okay, so I can't disagree with that. Let me see. Now, when I say that Andrew Tate is my boy, is that, listen, I don't follow everything Andrew Tate says. I have no idea, but some of the messages that I've heard that does promote self improvement and empowerment, that's the part that I told 1,000% agree with, and why I call Andrew Tate my boy. I totally agree with him when he talks about things like, when I tell young men to question everything, work hard, go to the gym, get as rich as possible, never quit, respect themselves, and all the pain will be worth it in the end. That is what the misogynists, I don't know what's going on in his personal life and how he views women's, and like, I don't know anything about that stuff. But that paragraph is what I've taken from Andrew Tate message, right? The work hard, go to the gym, never quit, stop complaining, stop being a little quote unquote girl, right? Be a man, be an adult, right? Take responsibility. That's the message I take from Andrew Tate, which is why I call him my boy. Now, here's another paragraph. But if I cut off my D and wore a dress and told men to do the same, I wouldn't be seen as poisonous to the minds of the youth. Now, listen. Do I agree or disagree with that? I can't say I agree with that statement, actually, because, there's many people in society, who have worn a dress and told men to do the same, and they are seen as poisonous in society, right? Not in my opinion, right? But a lot of people do bash the drag queen story hour in San Francisco and things like that. And it's like, but why? Like, why do we have to have it both? Why can't we have it both ways? Why can't we meet in the middle? That, a man wearing a dress or a man wearing a suit is still a human, right? That's all it should matter. Whether it's a person who is a man who wants to be a woman, or a woman wants to be a man, who care? I just don't care, right? So my argument to both sides is that, listen, Andrew Tate has a point, drag queens have a point. Like, there's a middle ground there that both sides aren't right. I'm agnostic, right? So it's like, I don't take the idea that atheists are correct or religious people are right. My opinion is that, not that both people are right, but it's just like, we're all human. We all, who knows who's right or wrong in these arguments, right? I personally don't think all men need to go to the gym and be manly. It's like, I don't agree with that idea that all men have to lift weights, right, and be as rich as possible. That to me, it's impossible. That's not what a man does. A man could be a photographer. A man could be a makeup artist. A man could be, you know what I'm saying? A man is just, in my opinion, because I speak to men, is just an adult. Be the adult, right? Be the gentleman. You could lose the argument and be a man, right? Like, being a man isn't about winning the argument. It's about, maybe I'm wrong, right? That's, just more like being an adult instead of being a man and eating meat and you can't be a vegetarian. It's like, that's not, come on. I disagree with that part, right? Okay, now, when he goes into, like, the British government, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to stay away from that. But when he says this, when Andrew Tate, my boy, Top G says, I am banned from almost all social media, having a bank account, Airbnb, Uber, Discord, Spotify. I got to say, that's just disgusting. I don't, it's like, if you go on any social media platform, Andrew Tate interviews, Andrew Tate sayings, Andrew Tate words are all over like, he's on Twitter, right? So is the world ending? Like, why is he not allowed to be on, like, YouTube or Airbnb? Like, I mean, come on, society. We have to be better than that, right? We have to be better than that. So that I totally disagree with. You see, Trump has been reinstated on various social medias. He hasn't done anything crazy. If they break rules, I do think like all platforms have the right to get users off their platform, right? Like, I don't think Andrew Tate has said anything, I mean, okay, I don't want to go too far because maybe he has said some crazy stuff, right? But haven't we all, right? Has any, how far do we go? And my argument with the whole Andrew Tate thing is he's on all of the social, if you go on Instagram, he may not have an Instagram account, but his sayings are all over Instagram. His sayings are all over YouTube. So why do these companies promote his sayings, promote his videos, promote his interviews, but not allow him on the site? I don't agree with that. That part pisses me off. It actually does. Okay, let me see. Is there anything else here that we really need to go into? The article started with, okay, this is what the article actually started with. Like I said, the article went through so many different things. Now, here's the point of the article. This is a good one. This is, Andrew Tate is saying this situation happened in South Africa is like getting a girlfriend from a nightclub, right? Now, some people might not understand that, right? Now, this is what I can't say what Andrew Tate say. I'm just trying to break down the metaphor from what I see it. In 2005, a South African man adopted a baby hippo. I think a lot of people use that. They're getting angry because it's like a baby hippo, but I see what he's talking about. A South African man adopted a baby hippo after rescuing it from a river. In this clip, they can be seen playing together. But 6 years later, the hippo dragged him into that same river and ate him. Well, okay. Here's what here's what I would say, men or women, right? If let's I can't speak for girls, but if you're a girl, right? Let's just throw it from the girl's perspective. If you're a girl and you go home and you tell your friends or your parents, hey, guess what? My new boyfriend or my new husband, I met him at a nightclub, right? They would look at you and say the same thing, like, at a nightclub? What? I don't know how long that's going to last, right? So that's basically where I'm going to go with that situation. Meeting people, personally, I don't think meeting people in a nightclub or museum or a library or social media or at a bar or on an airplane or, in a museum. Did I say museum yet? Because I really like museums. I have no idea how love works, right? So there are good people in nightclubs, right? To say the least. But the metaphor is I don't want to go too far, but if you think you're going to go to a nightclub and find the love of your life, right? The one who is the one for you, who you happen to meet at a nightclub, who is probably intoxicated, wearing completely revealing clothing, right? As Future would say, to my men out there, she's for the streets, right? She's for the streets, right? She's for the streets. So from both perspectives, if women go home and tell their best friend, their parents, hey, I met this guy, he's really awesome, I think I want to marry him, yada, 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 he's the one, but I met him at a nightclub. I'm not a woman, so I have no idea. But I think, I could just assume that some parents would look at their daughter and, some of their girlfriends would look at them and say, this is not going to work. So I think that's what Andrew Tate is just kind of saying. Like, if me and Andrew Tate are, like, really cool, that is my boy. But if I went, to him and I was like, man, Tate, Top G, that's what I would probably call him, Top G. Top G, I met this girl at a nightclub. He would probably be like, yeah, good luck with that, right? I think that's what he was basically saying. Just good luck with that, right? Future would say she's for the streets. Don't think, 6 years later, that everything's going to be all right. I would basically say that for the whole nightclub situation. But let me know your opinion of this story. Like I said, personally, I believe there are great people in nightclub. There are people who make marriages at nightclubs. There are people who've made marriages off Craigslist, of people who've made marriages off Twitter. There's no right way, men and men are getting married, women, you know what I'm saying? There's no right way to consider what love is, or who is, who you're going to fall in love with, or is it a better situation to fall in love with someone at a library or a museum, or some kind of political conference or scientific discovery, than it is to meet someone at a nightclub. There are good people at nightclubs. There's good people in scientific discoveries. That'd be my opinion. I'm super agnostic. Super agnostic. But I'm Jason. The world is yours. Today we had a story about Andrew Tate. Latest tweet sparks a debate. My boy, Andrew Tate, Andrew Top G Tate, my boy. Tweet sparks a debate on masculinity and freedom of speech. Like getting a girlfriend from a nightclub, is what Andrew Tate says. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button. And please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.